Hi, I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be drawing Otto, a cute minion from the movie The Rise of Gru. I'm really sorry it took so long for me to upload, just not in the right mindset to be able to sit down and draw and film, but I finally was able to do so. To start off the sketching process, I'm going to be drawing basic shapes. I start off with a wide egg-shaped oval for his head/body. Then I use a ruler to go in and add some guidelines, which will help keep everything symmetrical, and I'll be able to tell, exactly where I need to place his features, like the eyes and the mouth and etc. In order to figure out where the pupils go, I like to use a ruler to measure the distance and also to keep them on the same line. So you're just going to draw a little faint line there, and that can help with the pupil spacing. Once I have my sketch complete, I'm going to start erasing a lot of the pencil, and I don't want to do it all at once because then I find that sometimes I will make mistakes. So I'm going to do each block of color at a time. So I'm going to do the yellows and then the blues. I'm going to erase those, and then I'm going to go in and outline them so that then I have an outline to work with the same colors that I'm going to use to color in. Now I'm going to move on to the marker layer or base layer. I've got two different yellow tones, and I'm using the darker one for now to add to the left side where there's shadow. Normally, I start off with the lighter shades whenever I add a base layer, but for yellow I think it's fine to do this as you'll be adding pencil crayon over top. Do you call them pencil crayons or colored pencils where you're from? I call them pencil crayons. I remember when I was 15 or 16, my art teacher told me to never rush to use straight black. I didn't understand really why. Like, she explained, she said, you know, you can use different colors and stuff. But it really didn't make sense to me because I loved using straight black in my paintings and in my artwork. So the key is to start off with different colors first, your grays, your purples, your blues, and then once you're ready, you can add the black. I think I understand more now why adding straight black is not really a good idea, because after a lot of practice I realized that, you know, you want to add more layers and more colors for depth, and often if you use like a really black marker or black paint marker especially, it's really difficult to get like what you, that you're, you know, the look that you're going for. I decided that for the gloves and the goggle straps, I'm going to use a dark gray marker, and that way I can layer I can layer black pencil crayon or white or, you know, whatever color, dark blue, purple, whatever I need to use to add some depth and make it look like leather. Okay, so now I'm just going to go into each section and color in the second layer with pencil crayon. I'll go over this a few times. So for the yellow, for example, I'm going to use 3 different shades of yellow to add the various shades and to also blend everything in so that it looks really smooth. The longer I do this, obviously, the more polished it's going to be. I also like to sometimes use white in some of the lightest spots to blend the different colors in while adding some highlights. I've messed up with the eyes a little. I added the black in the pupils first, so this is a mistake that I think I can walk back from though. I'm going to go in with the colors for the iris, so the yellow and oranges, and try to fix my mistake. Obviously the problem with adding the black in the pupils first is the annoying smudging, especially if you use wax pencil crayons. So now the brown might look a little bit muddy, or the orange might look a little bit muddy. But I'm thinking, because I also have a white gel marker that I can use later on, I can probably fix this. So I'm just doing that now. Once in a while I might just go back and add in some more marker. I'm also going to be adding some shadow on the one side of the goggles and the eyes, just so that it looks a little bit more 3D. So now for the leather straps on the goggles, I'm just going to go in and add some gray on the trim, just to make it stand out a little bit more, some black on the inside, and also some of the stitching. I'm going to do the same effect with the gloves, with the gray on top, just to show where the highlighted areas are. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the boots. So once I move on to the overalls, I'm going to be starting to add some depth by using alternating between a darker and a lighter blue, like a denim blue. And I'm also going to be mixing in some white in there just to, you know, to really highlight some of the areas. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Once I get to the pocket, I want to show that there's some creasing there, right? Because the pocket's kind of stretched out and the fabric there is creasing. And so to show that, I'm just gonna add some darker blue underneath and above the creased areas, and then also some white to highlight the highlighted parts. I'm gonna add some stitching and some more shading. And once I'm happy with the stitching and the shadows, I'm gonna go in with some diagonal, downward facing, so vertical and horizontal white and dark blue lines, just to make the details so that the fabric looks like denim. With the teeth. So the teeth on the bottom, I accidentally went in with marker and did an overlap mistake. So I can fix that in later. I'm going to continue to add shading wherever it's needed, so a darker version of the color that I'm using to add shading. So I love these gel pens because They're so easy to use, and I like the effect that they give off. I'm gonna go ahead and put in some highlights in the eyes, and then also highlight the stitching on the denim. And use that same marker to add some highlight. Now this is where I can go in and add some black pencil crayon without, you know, adding too much. So this is near the end of my art piece, of my drawing. Final step is to just use some pencil crayon or some gray pencil crayon or a pencil to just add a little bit of shadow underneath him, and that'll just make the drawing pop out. And then I'm going to erase any smudges that I don't want. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you've made it this far and you enjoyed, please consider subscribing if you haven't already.